Okay, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Happy True Children's Day. I'm continuing on a series, one of my favorite series, which is the Four Realms of Heart. And last week we covered the first realm of heart, which is the children's realm. And just as a quick recap, the essence of children's realm is learning how to receive love. And that's really what allows you to grow your children's realm. And that's a foundational for all of us, even if we're older children, right? We're all children of God. So we have different realms or levels of the children's realm of heart. The first is doing things out of a sense of duty. We all do that sometimes for certain things, right? We do things because my parents made me do it. Some of you coming here might be the reason. But also there's an elevated level, which is, out of joy. You come because you actually enjoy service. Think about that. And then the highest level of really attending or your children's heart is doing things out of wanting to make your parents happy. So that's kind of the highest level of the children's realm. And all of this is important as a foundation for the next realm of heart, which we're going to cover today. Okay? So today we're going to get into the second realm of heart, which is the siblings realm. And I like to simplify things always. So to kind of figure out, I think I have to turn this on. No, it's supposed to be on. Somehow it's not working. Okay, so I guess I'll have to say next. Koji will just look at me and know when I want to switch the slides. Okay, here we go. All right, that works. Okay, so what is the essence of the siblings' realm of heart? Any guesses? In children's realm of heart, I said the essence is, kind of learning to receive love. But for siblings realm, what is the essence? What does siblings realm of heart mean? Like, what's an example of, translate that into English. What is siblings realm of heart? Yes, sharing. Okay, what else? Smiling. Okay, smiling is an expression of siblings realm. Sharing, right? Learning to share. Taking care of each other. Yes, siblings learn to take care of each other. Once you have more than one, right? You have to learn to kind of work with each other. Actually, the siblings realm of heart, from biblical terms, comes back to a very fundamental point. And that fundamental point, somehow, again, it's not working. Next. Somehow it's not working. Okay, so we're going to jump into it. Hopefully it'll work soon. It's from the greatest commandment. This is from John 4:21. And this commandment we have from him, whoever loves God must also love his brother. Jesus talked about the two great commandments. And do you know what the first one was? First commandment? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, right? And then the second is like the first, Jesus said, but it's to love your neighbor as you do yourself, right? So the siblings realm of heart is close to the second commandment that Jesus gave. The first commandment is actually similar to which realm of heart? The children's realm of heart. Actually, the two commandments that Jesus gave is simply the essence of the first and second realm of heart. The children's realm of heart is about loving God, loving your parents with all your heart. The siblings realm is learning to love your neighbor or your sibling. Actually, which one's more difficult? Depends, right? But sometimes those closest to you are the hardest to love, for those who have experience with that. So the question is, that's nice. Jesus says, love your neighbor. How do we actually practice that? How do you practice the siblings' realm of heart? Some people already mentioned a few things, right? You can smile at each other. You can share stuff like fruits that we got today. You can care for each other. There's different ways that you can practice the siblings' realm of heart. But I want to ask one question at this point, and that is, how do I ask this question? Okay, I know I have asked this question before, but I'll ask it again as a reminder. Now, is the siblings' realm of heart a vertical relationship or a horizontal relationship? Horizontal, okay. How many feel it's a horizontal relationship? Okay. How many feel it's a vertical relationship? It can be both. Okay. Well, I'm going to challenge your concept today. I'm going to say that the siblings' realm of heart is primarily a vertical relationship. Okay, let me make my case, and then you can see if you believe me or not. Actually, the siblings' realm of heart, according to the word, and we'll read in a moment, stems from your ability to love your parents. Okay, so let's get into the word. The older brother looks after and lives for the sake of his younger siblings in the same way that the parents love their children. Interesting. So, according to father and mother's words or guidance, the way that you actually learn to care for your siblings is through observing your parents. It's actually through your love for your parents, through observing how the parents care for the children, your siblings, that you learn to love and care for your siblings. Let's continue. The younger siblings practice true love by respecting and serving their older brothers and sisters just as they would serve and support their father or mother. So the point is this, is that you might think that, you don't need, respect or love for your parents to care for your siblings, and maybe in certain cases that may seem true. But in essence, if that relationship with parents and children is not strong, or in fact, if it's not good, then many times also the care for each other is also not good. Okay, I've been watching some Korean dramas recently, and they're very good at showcasing like familial relationships. And I see this a lot in Korean culture, where there's always this relationship that is based on the family dynamics. And it's always like this, even among friends, there's this elder-younger kind of dynamic there. Actually, we're going to get into that a little bit more later. Okay. Time for a story time. Let's see. What do I remember from my siblings? Okay, so for example, my older brother, Takateru, we fought a lot, my siblings and I. I remember we would get into fist fights. We would actually, I guess we're grown up now, so it's okay to share. But we would get into some pretty bad fist fights, and I remember one time I would somehow got my brother so mad that he chased me out of the house, and then I ran, and somehow I escaped him, and I ran back in the house, and I locked the door. So he was locked outside. Now, if he's angry and I locked him out, that gets him more angry, right? He was so angry that he literally punched through the window of the door and got glass shards and scars on his fist. But I was terrified. I ran to my room, locked my door, and just waited for my parents to get home. So I guess that's not a good example. But anyway, my point is, there were also good times. I remember one thing that I appreciate about my brother was he would organize Super Bowl parties at home, and we didn't really know what that was, but my brother would actually go and get chips and dip and sit us all together and watch the show together. We didn't know the rules of the game, but we just really enjoyed just having that fellowship together. There's certain things that elder brothers or elder siblings can do for the siblings that even the parents may not be able to do. And so really the elders are meant to really care. True siblings love is you love each other from this perspective as an elder to a younger, caring for them just as parents would, or even in ways that parents cannot love all the time, you kind of step in to love and care for them as your siblings, okay? So that's a key aspect of siblings' realm of heart, is caring for youngers. And the other part is if you're younger, you learn to really respect and serve your elders. I'm trying to remember. I don't think I ever did that. So respect and serve your elders. Okay, maybe a different story. One more story I remember. So I don't know why this story comes up, but I was a master puppeteer. I call myself a puppeteer. I would get dolls that my sisters had, and I would pretend to give a personality to the doll. And then I would communicate with my sisters through the dolls. Each one had a particular character, and we would relate, and they would laugh, and sometimes I would get my sisters so mad because I would use the doll to, tease them or diss them, and then they would get so mad that they would beat up the puppet. Of course, I'm the guy that's making the puppet say those things, but I don't know why I'm sharing this story. But anyway, siblings realm is a very interesting realm that you learn and grow through experiencing and practicing all these kind of dynamics in the family. Okay? So now the perfection of siblings' love, each sibling nurtures the strengths and compensates for the weaknesses of the others. This realm of heart among brothers and sisters sharing the same blood is a love that no one can divide. I find this passage very poetic, but it has two more key elements of the siblings' realm of heart. So again, elders, care for youngers. Youngers, respect and serve your elders. But this is key. Nurturing the strengths of each other and compensating for weaknesses. We tend to do the exact opposite, right? I don't know, but in my family, we were very competitive. And so if someone did well, we would try to challenge them, right? Come back home and say, yep, ace the test, right? And then you start to boast, and then your sibling looks at you, at least I have friends, right? And I was like, well, at least I can graduate school, I said. So we tend to poke at each other's weaknesses, right? But in true siblings realm, we're supposed to actually celebrate each other's strengths. Be like, oh man, that's so awesome that you did well. Or, yeah, I wish I could be like you, social and, make friends so easily. But that's something that it doesn't seem natural, right? But if you grow up in a realm of love with your parents as originally intended, that's how it was meant to be, where we actually support each other, celebrate each other's strengths, and we compensate for each other's weaknesses. So, I know this is ideal, but the reason why we're studying this, why we're here at church and receiving this word, is so that we can learn and try to practice this ideal, at least work towards that, okay? So what would life, society, and world be like if we practice true siblings love? Imagine everyone respecting elders, caring for youngers, celebrating each other's strengths, compensating for each other's weaknesses. Imagine what kind of world would this be? Well, actually, Father Moon continues to share in this passage. Children living in a true family who perfects the brother and sister's realm of heart in the true love of God will go out into the world to lead lives as clear as crystal and as bright as the shining sun. It's very poetic, actually. When they meet people older than themselves, they will honor and serve them with the same heart that they would exhibit towards their own parents. They will show the same true love towards young people that they would toward their younger siblings, share with them and helping them. As a result, everyone will love them. They will be respected as owners of true love and heart. Though they may be young, they will become central persons trusted and relied upon by people of all ages. Okay, so this is kind of a section about the siblings' realm of heart, and I really find this very insightful for even your own success in life, right? Imagine how many of you guys struggle with your boss at work? Oh, wow. How many of you guys work? Oh, okay. Yeah, so typically, okay, how many of you guys struggle with colleagues at work? How many of you guys are honest? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so, you know, it's not easy working, but imagine if you were respectful of your boss as you were, you know, respectful to your parents, assuming that you're respectful to your parents. And imagine taking care of your colleagues as you would like your family, your siblings, like helping them out. You know, if they're new, you kind of teach them the ropes. Or if you're new, you really respect and ask for advice from those who came before you. How much would that kind of generate this like love and attraction to you as an employee or as a colleague? If you learn to practice the siblings realm in not just your family, but in your workplace, you will be successful. This is just universal law in relationships. By giving respect, by serving, by caring for others, people will respond in kind. And this will be the foundation of success in everything that you do as well. So I really feel these principles are so powerful. This siblings realm of heart is not just a spiritual principle for religious people. This realm of heart is very substantial in every relationship that you have. And so I really want to encourage you to, even it might be tough, I want you to try to practice this realm of heart, okay? Okay, great idea. But what's the problem? How, you know, it seems like, okay, just love God, love others, and we'll have world peace. So what's the problem? Why can't we love each other? For one thing is lack of love. Okay, that's a good point. If you don't feel loved, it's hard to love others, right? Carol said that we have a devil on our shoulder. One shoulder. Okay, that's right. We have the angel on the other, so that gives us some hope. It's interesting. It all comes back to the family. It is easy for siblings to quarrel among themselves when their parents are not present. The reason such struggles continue is because children do not always understand their parents' intentions. So the reality is, I don't know if you've experienced this, but when you turn around, like moms, or I guess even dads, when you leave your kids on their own, what tends to happen? Chaos. Right? And then you have to come in, be the peacemaker, and so on and so forth, and then you think it's great, and then you step out, and then again, chaos ensues, right? So the parent's role is so important to keep peace among the children until they mature to a point where they can, be peaceful without you. But that's the same thing if you expand that case from the family model to society, nation, and world. The reason why people don't get along is because they don't have a parental figure that can help them keep the peace. Does that make sense? Right. Right now there's a lot of conflict. We have the Ukraine-Russia situation, and we have the Israeli-Hamas situation, and people are killing each other for their religious beliefs or their past pains. And it's affecting us here in America as well, right? There's political strife, and it's becoming a hot topic all over the country. How are we going to actually resolve that kind of conflict? How are those conflicts ever going to be resolved? Ever think about that? It seems almost impossible, right? Given the situation that we see right now. But I believe, again, according to these principles that both Father and Mother Moon are talking to us about, it starts with practicing it within my family first. Okay, you might not be able to affect what's happening in another country or another continent, but it starts with practicing it within your own family. And so I want to really encourage you. It's great to, of course, pray for peace and think of ways that you can resolve these kind of issues, thinking for a more peaceful situation. But I want you to substantially see that if you can try practicing this in your family, you're making the first step in making that greater peace, right? One thing that gives me hope is, Father and Mother Moon, they really, this is an image of Father Moon receiving an image or receiving a visitation from Jesus Christ. And in that visitation, Jesus asked Father Moon to continue the mission that God gave Jesus, which was to substantially create a peaceful world. So based on that, Father Moon took seriously, okay, how can I create peace in this world? And together with Mother Moon, they went about and kind of faced all kinds of different obstacles, one of which was even embracing their sworn enemy. This is Kim Il-sung, the leader of North Korea way back when. Now his grandson is kind of in charge. But they were leading as a communist nation, trying to literally kill Father Moon. But they went to embrace him, and even in the middle of being hosted by them, declared that actually what you need is God. Who tells a communist president that you need God? Only a crazy person, but crazy for God. But he went with this heart of loving his elder brother, and with this heart of a parent and the shoes of a servant, went to embrace. And even the person that really tortured and tried to kill him, they try to embrace. So by looking at this example, I know it's not all of us are like this, but it's possible. The only way actually for us to create peace, especially, it's easy to get along with people that like you, right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm friends with them. But what if they don't like you? Are you still going to care for them? What if they hate you? Are you still going to care for them? What will compel you to care for people that hate you or that annoy you? They're your boss. They give you money, that's why, right? What if they don't give you any money? Right? The only motive that can help go beyond that is if your love for God is strong enough that you're able to see that person from God's viewpoint, that you're willing to continue to care and love for them. Does that make sense? It's not easy. No, it's not. But that's what Father and Mother Moon have modeled for us and encouraging us to practice ourselves, and how essential it is, our love for God, as a foundation to be able to love each other. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you'll stop loving once it gets tough. So it's really important that we look at these examples. And one other thing that's really hopeful, this is a picture of one of the blessings we had with our young couples. You know, people may wonder why we do these kind of mass weddings and marriages, but the vision behind it is quite moving, quite visionary. Father and Mother Moon, based on a revelation from God, realized that the only way to creating world peace, especially from those of warring countries, is by marrying them together. Brilliant. Actually, you know, historically, nations have done this. They've married different tribes together to avoid war. They would actually marry different people from different countries or tribes or different warring nations in order to create peace. The main thing was to marry, and then that lineage becomes a representative of the union of those two parts. So the blessing, the cross-cultural marriage blessing, the intention behind that was to literally marry everyone together with other countries so that they stop fighting each other. It's a powerful vision. Of course, you have to have willing people to do that, which were many of you, to go beyond your nation, culture, and to, yeah, you can give yourselves a hand, even race, culture. For the sake of peace in the world, many of our elder first generation were willing to offer and marry people from other nations that were foreign for the sake of this peace. So, you know, imagine even in the conflict we see in the Middle East today, right? Imagine if families were able to connect and marry and have children that are from both sides, right? That's really, I feel, the only way that there will be peace in the Middle East. And I think again, that's not something that we can directly affect, but this vision for peace is so powerful, and we're not just believing in it, we're actually trying to practice and model it ourselves, okay? So anyway, very hopeful with that. So to recap, siblings' realm of heart: respect and serve others, care for your youngers, respect and serve elders, care for your youngers, and acknowledge each other's strengths and compensate for each other's weaknesses. So the reflection question I'd like you to think about is, what do you appreciate about your siblings or peers? It starts with appreciation. So let's take 5 minutes now, turn to a neighbor, think of your siblings or your peers, and think of at least one thing you appreciate about them. Okay, and then the challenge for the week is express that appreciation and or serve that person this week. Okay, 5 minutes, and we'll come back.